This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
The numbers told the story. They always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gil Alexander on VSiN.
Good Thursday morning to you. It is a numbers game at VSiN, the sports betting network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course, Sirius XM channel 158. Gil Alexander in San Francisco, Kelly Bidley in Las Vegas. That's Kelly Bidlin, everybody, in Las Vegas. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, my man. How you doing?
I'm doing very well.
Good.
Chilling. A lot of tennis being sweat out right now. We'll get to that here momentarily. Dallin Cuff will join us, talk World Cup. Zach Cohen, all of his Wimbledon plays at the top of the hour, an hour from now. We'll talk about MLB, the race to 10 wins in July. And of course, because it's Zach Cohen, that means it's Zach and Crack. Bill Krackenberger, unscripted, with Kelly on the desk. Are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, man. I really am. We'll see how it goes. We'll definitely do this today. We'll see how it goes. The only thing I'm worried about, Gil, is you getting boxed out a little bit, you know?
Oh, yeah, you can't have that.
Can't have that. Can't have that.
Here's the dealio. Let's start with the tennis plays, because 3 of the 6, I have 6 plays today. 3 are already in action. 3 have yet to begin. Currently, the ones that are in action, Lorenzo Sonego in a 5th set now with Gabriel Diallo. Sonego is plus 103. They're on serve early in the 5th set. I am down 2 sets to 1 in the Zachary Svajda, Kamil Mychak. That's Mychak match. Svajda's plus 150, so that is ongoing. And the big one, Anna Blinkova, plus 502. Up a break late in the first set against Marta Kostyuk.
Whew.
Oh, boy.
Whew.
Oh, boy. What could go wrong there? The ones that have not started. Your boy Grigor Dimitrov, Kelly. Grigor plus 155 versus Jakub Menchik. That's a little later. Matteo Berrettini, $2 dog versus Artur Fils. And Kamila Rakimova, plus 164 versus Maria Sakkari. So 3 still to come, 3 being sweat out right now. By the way, Iga double parked outside, dispatches Karolina Pliskova. That's our only future, 10-1 on the ladies' side. She moves on to the 3rd round, where it looks like if all continues, she will be facing, as expected, Alex Ayala, and that will be a banger of a match in round number 3. So all that happening on the tennis side. Soccer, though, whereas that's where all the headlines are stateside. The United States of America on their way to the round of 16, a 2-0 win yesterday, Kelly, over Bosnia and Herzegovina. Not just any 2-0 win, but a 2-0 win where they had to play a half hour down a man.
Yeah.
Up 1-0. It was going to be, had to buckle up at that point. But the U.S. Actually increases the lead. They win it 2-0. What a beautiful goal from Malik Tillman on the free kick. Just gorgeous. And the USA moves on to take on Belgium. What did you think, beyond your USA love? What did you think about I'll start by saying this. Look, I'm going to let the hate wash over me. American sports fan chiming in on soccer. Mm-hmm. But Kelly, what do you think about the red card that put the U.S. a man down?
I'll tell you, Danny and I were talking about it before the show, Gil. No, I'm not going to be the guy who overreacts about every little soccer rule that I think I understand or don't understand. But I saw when the guy went down, right, when it occurred. And there's so little breaks in soccer, which is nice. I used the opportunity, Gil, to, I don't even know what I did. Went and made a drink. I used the restroom, whatever. I came back, and when I got back to the couch, I was like, why are we down to 10 men? What did I miss? I didn't realize I missed the red card incoming off of that play. So, when it happened, I was like, wow, that looked like it. That looked like it actually hurt. I'm gonna go. That might take a couple minutes. I'll come back. So, look, man, it felt light for a red card, that's for sure. But me and you talking soccer red cards, I'm enjoying everybody freaking out about they know exactly what card should be given there.
Well, I want to try to say this as objectively as possible. So that one, most of the American pundits on TV, former players of Team USA squads, whether it be Alexei Lalas, Landon Donovan, they were destroying the official for making that call. Worked out for the USA anyway. Listen, it's a crime where the punishment far exceeds the level of the crime. When it comes to that notion, where a punishment far exceeds the level of the crime, my bigger issue, and I mean this again humbly as a guy who does not watch as much soccer as others. Mm-hmm. But the reason that I think American sports fans, if I may speak for all America here, ladies and gentlemen, I think the reason that American sports fans have difficulty sometimes with soccer, besides the faking of injuries, right? That kind of goes against the American sensibilities to begin with. Certainly the red card that puts you a man down. But the Belgium-Senegal finish is really the one that I think bothers me the most. And I had already got my draw money, so there's objectivity here. It has nothing to do with a bet. But Belgium is trailing 2-0. They get the dramatic goals from Lukaku. They get the equalizer. We go into, it's 120 minutes worth of soccer. And then on a play that occurs maybe, 50 times in 120 minutes. Don't hold me to that number, but it happens all the time. A slide is made by the defender. He doesn't get to the ball first. He actually gets the player first. So I get that it's a call. It happens to be in the penalty box. And so there's the penalty kick. And just like that, after so much drama, there's this empty feeling inside of, oh, they won on that. And so when we talk about a punishment exceeding the crime, I think that ratio is what we have trouble with. It is, I'll take the American equivalent. It's a tie NFL game. There's 30 seconds left. You're at your own 20-yard line. The quarterback heaves it as far as humanly possible, and they throw a flag for a defensive PI right at the 10-yard line of theirs, as far as he can throw the football. It just can change the game in such a way that doesn't appear commensurate with the crime and doesn't feel justified in the moment. I'll give the Paul Carr percentages because this is how I used to phrase it. Last thing on this. Essentially, with that play in soccer yesterday in the Belgium-Senegal game, you turned what amounts to about a 10% chance to score a goal into an 85% chance to score a goal. And that, I think, again, humbly as an American, again, I'll let the hate wash over me from soccer hardos who are going to be like, you don't understand. It's been done like this. I get it. That's our problem with it.
No, I don't know. I think you're being incredibly fair about that. We're not criticizing it. I'm not expecting the sport to change anytime soon. This is the way it's always been done. It's just, yes, there are, whether it's a penalty kick or a red card in a situation like that in the USA game. I mean, to go from 11 to 10 guys, it's massive. It's a massive penalty for something that, like you're talking about the penalty kick. If it's occurs at any other location on the field, right, you're not getting that opportunity. And to take a one goal either advantage or to cut into a deficit, that's massive in soccer. So it's these things swing games.
They swing games, and not only do they swing games, Kelly, more importantly, we don't have Fowler and Balogun for the next game. This is from ESPN. VAR made their recommendations to the referee based on slow motion and still replays, which is not aligned with VAR protocols. We're going back to the red card now in the Team USA game. Andy Davies, referee, believes VAR made the incorrect decision on Balogun's red card. So, again, differing opinions there.
See, there's Danny and I were talking about this before the show, Gil. It's like there's some interesting stuff going on here where I'm like, I don't really understand how there's some confusion over this. I mean, we're at the World Cup, right? Like, this is the highest level of soccer. And I know FIFA gets criticized a lot, so I'm not going to be the first one to jump. But one of the first things I heard after the game, I'm sure you read it somewhere too or heard it too, of, they'll look into this red card and see if they can get it rescinded. And then it's like 2 hours later, people are like, no, it's not something you can do. Like, that's just not something you can do. And then Danny's probably, I didn't realize this VAR thing during the game yesterday where it's like they were slowing it down and putting it to stills that they're not supposed to do when reviewing something like that. If you're going to have standards for how something's officiated and this operations work, like, they got to stick to them.
Another triple header in the round of 32 today at the World Cup. This begins at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. So again, these staggered start times seemingly every day. Spain takes on Austria. Spain is a big favorite in this one. The winner That's at SoFi, by the way, today. The winner will play the winner of the Portugal-Croatia game, which follows it immediately, not immediately, but right after, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Portugal-Croatia is in Toronto. Winner of that, as I mentioned, will play the previous game, Spain versus Austria. And then the nightcap tonight, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific. This one in Vancouver, lovely Vancouver, Canada. Switzerland and Algeria. Wow, I forgot Algeria made it to the round of 32. The winner will play the winner of tomorrow's Colombia-Ghana match for a spot in the round of 16. That game will then be played next Tuesday. By the way, the winners of the Spain, Austria, and Portugal, Croatia games, that round of 16 game is on Monday. So that's where we are with the United States of America. And we'll talk about this more because the other big news, of course, was NBA related. We'll talk more in depth about it a little later on. We want to get to Dallin's World Cup thoughts here momentarily. But Kelly, just give me, just to whet the appetite for a later discussion, just give me your first reaction to the Jaylen Brown trade to the Philadelphia 76ers yesterday.
I'm absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. I think you could... I think you can compare it to almost as shocking as Luka Doncic being traded from the Dallas Mavericks to the Los Angeles Lakers. And why do I say it that way, Gil? Because the Luka Doncic trade involved one phone call to the Los Angeles Lakers in 1v1 trade. The Boston Celtics have been shopping Jaylen Brown for weeks now, and this is the best they could get. So this is, as much as I'm going to sit here and defend Jaylen Brown, this is how the league views him. It's shocking to see that happen yesterday, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel corroborated in my opinion because, again, I think he's very good player who's getting treated salary-wise as a great player. It wasn't as shocking to me. I'm surprised by that. We'll talk about that more. World Cup with Dallin next, though.
Racetrack Television Network brings you every race, from every track, on every screen, every day. With monthly packages starting as low as $5, RTN gives you great value and access to more live HD streaming and race replays than anyone. Visit RTN.tv today to sign up and watch on almost any device, including Roku and Amazon Fire. Use promo code TRYRTN for a 5-day free trial.
This is VSiN, a network of sports betting analysts, writers, hosts, and handicappers, all here to help you become a more confident bettor. We broadcast live every day from Las Vegas, the sports betting capital of the world, and from studios across the country, giving you insight from every angle of the action. Take VSiN with you wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app, or catch us on streaming platforms and regional sports networks. You can also listen live on SiriusXM Channel 158 and on radio stations nationwide. Check out VSiN.com as well for betting tools, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered player prop projections from Opta, pro picks for every game, plus in-depth betting guides and articles built to give you an edge. From sharp betting analysis and daily best bets to insider interviews and expert breakdowns, VSiN is your trusted source for everything happening in the world of sports betting. See everything we have to offer at VSiN.com and become part of the Sports Betting Network.
Coming up on the next edition of Follow the Money, ready for the World Cup. 3 more matches. Jeff Borzello and Steve Wiss to give out their best bets. The Butcher is shocked at the Mexico-England line. Paul Stone to dive into futures and somber numbers as we preview the American Athletic Conference and college football. Anthony Irwin on what the Lakers are doing in the offseason. And we love a pick in the Swiss-Algeria match. Follow the Money 4 to 7 Eastern on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, SiriusXM Channel 158.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
20 leagues, one mission, just win bets. Baby is your premier source for daily sports betting picks. They break down the data so you can bet with confidence across the entire sports calendar. Scan the QR code or visit justwinbetsbaby.com today and start betting smarter with Just Win Bets Baby. The name says it all. It's Gil Alexander in San Francisco. Kelly Bidlin back in Las Vegas. We get tweets at Beating the Book. Dan Piccirillo. Hope I'm saying that all right, Dan. Evil Genius HK. He says, I'm sorry that Benedict Bidlin didn't get his wish of a draw in regulation last night. I was right there with you, Kelly.
I didn't even have the bet. You know, Gil, if you remember yesterday, I wanted American soccer fans to just make sure our expectations didn't get way out of whack like they usually do. And you know, it wasn't great. It wasn't great with the red card yesterday, but I think some expectations should be reset and proper going forward in this tournament.
He adds, Dan Piccirillo does, I was calling FIFA some very unflattering names in my basement, he said.
Yeah.
Shrek McPhee, it was an awful tackle, but completely accidental, as Flo wasn't even looking. The issue is now yellow card being given and upgraded to red via VAR. Straight red from VAR is a disgrace. Yes, everyone knows Messi didn't get a card. Flo ain't Messi, LOL. Anthony DeFilippis. My next trip to Vegas, if I don't get to have a beer and watch some football with Kelly, did I even have a good trip? Good question.
Football or football? Which football?
I think he means American.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he means a Norway match in the World Cup. I don't know.
Gil, I would think if these guys could see our text messages during these matches, they would be very entertained by our soccer breakdowns.
Trip Tepper, a numbers game investigation has revealed that we finally identified Super Jerk. He was the ref in the USA-Bosnia match. And Ryan Hyatt, excellent job on a numbers game this morning by Gil and Kelly, detailing some of the obstacles soccer faces with casual American fans. Well done. Hope folks can get the audio here in a bit. Well, they will on the VSiN app for sure. Dallin Cuff is kind enough not only to join us whenever he joins us, but we just learned he's joining us while on vacation in Charleston, South Carolina, going extra time with us. We really appreciate it, Dallin. Thanks for joining us.
Always, boys. Kelly, bro, can we dare to dream for a little bit? Can you not? Like, that was your Debbie Downer, man. Like, let us dream. Let us feel it for a minute here.
Dallin, I can't handle the depression when it sets in. You know, everybody gets so depressed, you know, and it's just let's just manage expectations. But of course I'm rooting for USA, Dallin. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Okay. All right. Good. Thank you.
Well, let's start there. So the USA on the way to the round of 16 to play Belgium. Everybody's saying Belgium, very beatable for us, if I may use the word us. Do you think that is the case, Dallin? And do you think that's where the magic carpet ride ends, though?
Boys, there's about 340 million of us that can say us, all right? When they got the USA, anybody that's here, let's go. You're on board. That's us. Yes, they can beat Belgium. Remember, bear in mind, these two teams did play back in March in a pretty dead Atlanta Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Very different environment now. A different group of guys. This team was not the same. The team we saw first kicking off here against Paraguay, we had never seen before. We've now seen this team and this exact same lineup that we ran out last night play at a very, very high level. Conversely, Belgium right now is laboring through matches. They were fortunate, to say the least, that Senegal made some just massive mistakes to give up the lead and then to lose it at the death there on a tough call. But yes, this team is beatable. We saw this U.S. team play Senegal a couple weeks ago. It was one of our second to last warm matches where Ricardo Pepi did start up top, which likely he will start up top in Flo Balogun's place if they maintain the same shape and same system, which I think you should. And Pepi really combined well in that game. Him and Pulisic in particular were great on one of the goals they scored earlier in that match. Like he's a different player than Flo. Flo has showed that he's a pretty elite scorer, and we talked about it before the tournament kicked off. One of my favorite plays in the future was Balogun to be the leading scorer for the U.S. team because we'd seen what he'd done at Monaco in the last couple of years. He played at Arsenal, couldn't quite become an Arsenal guy a couple of years ago, still was young, but he was having a great tournament, and now he will not be playing in the next match, unjustly so. I'm sure we'll get to that, but this team was capable of beating Belgium. My brother said last night they're going to be really interesting to be a home dog. I said, I don't think they're going to be a home dog. And lo and behold, they are not. I mean, whether it's to advance, they are the favorite slightly, or to on the three-way market. I think that's partially because of the home field advantage they will have. Seattle, remember, I was there in that Australia game, guys. That place is insane, that environment. The players had said that before, and people that had seen soccer matches all over the world said that might be one of the best environments they'd ever seen. So that's a factor. And the fact that Belgium has not played that well. So I think we've looked better. We are at home. We are confident. granted without a striker, this is a very winnable game, and the country should expect to see their team win. And if they don't, that's heartbreaking. But it's not we're going to roll out there and hope we win like we played Belgium in 2014. We hope to hang in that game. It took Tim Howard 14 saves. This is not that scenario.
Well, we said before the tournament, or Paul Carr more specifically on this show said, getting to the round of 16 should be viewed as par. Now he views it as getting on the green on a par 5 and 2. That's where we are right now. But this has been adjusted in the betting market to reach the quarters. Now we are a slight favorite, minus 120. So we look forward to that match. Let's just get to what you alluded to right there, Dallin. So I think you tipped your hand there. Unjust red card and then Belgium-Senegal, correct call to elicit the penalty kick at the end there?
Let's go with the red card first. That's an egregious red. By the laws of the game and how it's defined, there are words like brutality, serious foul play, attempt to injure, violent conduct. None of that was there. In all honesty, the challenge came from Flo's back. Like, he can't even see what's happening there. And as he's trying to fight, as the defender gets around him, his leg, he's off balance. His foot has to come down somewhere, okay? He's off balance. The guy's coming from behind him. He doesn't even see him, and then he gets red carded for it. This is where VAR is flawed. If you see it in slow-mo and you break it down, you create something out of nothing. That is, if anybody's played the game, that is a kind of an innocuous challenge in the fact that he didn't try to do it. If you want to give him a yellow for it, okay, I'll give you that. A straight red, and I think one of your tweets said, it's ludicrous. It was an absurd final call. And when you look at not just the Messi play, okay, I know that you just want to draw the comparison and FIFA fixes things for Messi. He made a challenge. And when I watched that game, I watched that live, I go, ooh, that's not good. And I couldn't believe he didn't even get a yellow. I thought he should have. I mean, I thought they were going to review it. They didn't do anything. And you can say it's because Messi, but the difference is, guys, is he was running to make a challenge, and a late one at that. He put his heel up and raked down the guy's calf to foot, similar to Balogun, but his was intending to make a tackle. There are other still shots. You can see Pulisic in that first game against Paraguay took a tackle very similar. Again, an intention to make that tackle. We saw one in the Australia game against us, the intention to make that tackle. You're not necessarily supposed to judge intent, but when you can't even see the guy, that has to factor into how you assess the play. I think it was just a joke. And as soon as they walk over to that VAR, and this will go to the Belgium-Senegal thing, we've seen it one time in this tournament where a ref walked over, the VAR recommended it, he walked back and said, no, I'm sticking by my decision. They still have the power to do this. In some countries around the world, particularly Germany, their refs will say, no, I disagree. In England, it's almost a fait accompli. If they walk over there, it's whatever the VAR said. And it's crazy to me. You still have the ability to interpret it. It's somebody's interpretation against yours, and you are the center official. And the Belgium-Senegal game, if that's played live and they don't review it, I got no problem with it. As soon as they go to review it, though, and as soon as you start to watch it in slow-mo, you then will make the argument. If that player does not make that challenge at that moment, is he taking away an opportunity for somebody to get the ball on the foot on the ball and score a goal? Okay, you could say that's the case. It was very, very little contact, but if you take that player out, he probably gets a shot. Maybe he scores. So should there be a penalty given? You can make that argument. I have no problem if they do not review it and they just keep on playing. But as soon as they go to review, as soon as that referee walks over there, you know the outcome. You know it's going to be. We were hard done yesterday. I think Senegal was hard done, but I understand the process. It's just the red card piece of it is damning because that obviously takes him out of the next match and 30 minutes of that game. The penalty for what he was doing does not fit the crime. You could argue the same thing for Senegal, but once they walk over to that monitor, it seems to be a done deal.
Well said. Thanks for putting that in a context for us. I was saying earlier, the Belgium-Senegal one, it goes, the American sports fan's mind, it goes from like a 10% chance of scoring a goal to an 85% chance, right? And that's what we have trouble with, I think, in this country. Triple header today, Dallin. We have about 90 seconds. Spain, Austria, Portugal, Croatia, Switzerland, Algeria. What are your thoughts or bets on all three?
Yeah, I like Croatia to advance, guys. I think the value on Portugal, we haven't seen it. I've talked to you guys about Portugal. I think they're misusing. I think Roberto Martinez is doing his team a disservice by the way they're playing. Ronaldo, how they are playing, they look disjointed. Yes, Uzbekistan, you've scored 5 goals. I do not care. Croatia has the same motor and engine of guys, and Luka Modric and others, Perisic, that have been on that 2018 World Cup final team. They do not quit. They do not give up. I like them to advance. If you want to go a little bit more light, I mean, that's around plus 230. I think double the chances are good, too. Tie or draw on 90. I think I could easily see this thing going extra time and them trying to outlast Portugal. And if they get that draw on 90, you get paid out. That's around even money. I like that. I think in the Austria-Spain game, I think you're going to see an Austria team play kind of like they did against Argentina. They are going to make this thing compact, tough. They are organized defensively. They went up and down with Algeria. That's not how they're going to play in this game, kind of because they had to, or once they went down, they felt they had to. I think you're going to see a situation where they're going to hunker down a little bit. I like the under in that, although the money is the money is on the over. I like the under in that match. I think Spain has struggled to show us breaking down a team that's going to be very defensively solid and kind of sit behind the ball. I think that's what you see in the Austria match. So those are my couple plays for the day.
I appreciate it. And steering clear of the Switzerland-Algeria match at night. Dallin, enjoy Charleston, man. Thank you so much for joining us. If we had known we were on vacation, we wouldn't have bothered you. Thank you.
Well, I could always say, no, I want to talk to you guys. I'll see you next week.
I appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week then, wherever Dallin might be. Thank you. Dallin Cuff, by the way, from Turner Sports. You can follow him on Twitter at Dallin, DALENCUFF, Dallin Cuff. Courtesy of the Progressive Guest Line. Jaylen Brown, in depth, next on A Numbers Game, right here at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
The biggest contest we've ever seen.
Seriously, what's the guarantee?
They're still talking about it.
I think it's time to put the rumors to rest.
Showtime.
$30 million.
$30 million?
$30 million? $30 million?
That's $30 million guaranteed. 3 contests, multiple ways to win, no rate. Entry starting at $1,000. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere.
Elevate your sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup. Then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to vsin.com/pro to join VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Numbers Game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This 4th of July, and it's 2 days away, we're bringing back something we rarely do, a multi-year VSiN Pro subscription for 1 week only. Now, this offer exists now already. Get 2 full years of VSiN Pro for just $299. That's access through July 2028 at nearly 70% off the regular monthly price. 2 years. You'll get our NFL season betting guide, daily best bets, real-time betting splits from DraftKings and Circa, AI-powered prop projections, 24/7 video on the VSiN Watch app, and every betting guide. That's double-digit worth of betting guides, season previews, and VSiN Pro features we release over the next 2 years. But don't wait. Special 4th of July offer disappears after July 7th. Poof, gone. Head to VSiN.com/subscribe now to lock in 2 years of VSiN Pro for just $299. That's VSIN.com/subscribe. All right, a little tennis update. We're up a set in the $5 dog Anna Blinkova Marta Kostyuk match. Up a set. Let's go.
Nice.
Again, our future on Iga got through to round 3. Men's side have a chance to serve for the match with Lorenzo Sonego moments from now. Zachary Svajda up a break in the 4th set, trying to force a 5th set. So far, so good. Of course, 3 matches. Oh, by the way, one other match has begun. The Artur Fils, Matteo Berrettini match has begun. They're on serve early in the first set. Still to come, Kamila Rakimova on the women's side. And what was the remaining one on
Grigor.
Grigor. Thank you, Kelly. Grigor. We get Tweet Speedy the book. Ray at Wreaking Havoc. The ref on the field gave nothing. Egregious error. The ref had an agenda. Peter Watry, respect to all Americans who are showing interest and passion for our sport, world football. Balogun was born in the U.S. accidentally, quote unquote, he says, when his pregnant mother was visiting New York City from London. They will now have to win with American players, and they can do it. He's American. Come on. And Eagle Marine, Gil, I am with you 100% on the soccer calls. Crimes just do not fit those punishments. As an SEC alum, hard to cast stones at soccer, though, when we have somehow allowed targeting to do what it has done to college football. We have kids missing bowl games over what used to be great hits. Yeah, college football definitely has changed with that. And then as a nice segue into our discussion about Jaylen Brown, Kelly, this is from Nick, Real Nicks. Breaking news, he says, Sixers traded Paul George for Jaylen Brown. As a Sixers fan, I needed to read this headline 100 times to make it sink in. Still don't believe it. Gansey's already exec of the year, but how is Boston 4-1 to win the East and Philly 8-1? For those who missed it, we should probably spell out the trade. As you know, on the heels of Giannis going to the Heat, LaMelo Ball going to the T-Wolves. Now it's Jaylen Brown traded to the Sixers. Sixers sending Paul George, the at this point peripatetic Paul George, 2 first-round picks, 2028, 2031, 2 second-round picks, 2028, 2030 to Boston to complete the deal. Brown leaves Boston as a 5-time All-Star, as well as the 2024 Eastern Conference Finals and NBA Finals MVP, helping Boston win its 18th championship. Brown is going to turn 30 in October, coming off a career season where he finished 6th in MVP voting, was a second-team All-NBA selection while leading the Celtics to a 56-win season. Remember, much of that without Jason Tatum. He averaged 28.7 points a game, 6.9 rebounds, 5.1 assists per game, all matching or exceeding his prior career highs. Kelly earlier on the show made the outlandish remark that his father invented the question mark. No, that this trade was as surprising as the Luka trade. I think I don't agree with that. I mean, I think the Luka trade was just.
I said almost.
Oh, almost. Okay, my bad. I misquoted you. It's. The Luka thing was like, people thought I was falling for a prank when I sent him the tweet, right? Drew was like, they got Gil, right? This one you knew was coming after the attempts to trade him in the Giannis deal. It's pretty interesting to me. I'll let you chime in on that specific question on Twitter about, hey, look, Boston's 4-1 and Philly's 8-1. But I like a lot of the post-trade commentary here, which sort of it makes me feel better about how I feel about Jaylen Brown, which is basketball is a funny sport, right? Again, what's the example I always use? You can't put Wilt, Magic, Bird, MJ, and Oscar Robertson on the same team and think you're going to score 300 points. It just doesn't work, right? There's an optimal efficiency to 5 guys on the court. And I don't know how much better Jaylen Brown makes the people around him. So I'm not like super convinced this is an amazing trade for the Sixers. I will grant you this though, Kelly. I was surprised that of all the teams they went with, the Celtics were so okay with going with this, obviously the best deal they got, that they traded him to a historical conference rival. Pretty amazing.
I mean, it's part of the shock factor, right? And it's part of, from the 76ers side, the Paul George contract. Nobody thought they were ever going to be able to get back off that thing. Once they brought him in, and it was, oh God, all of a sudden this is a disaster. He gets suspended last year. Yes, he came back and played well, but just the opportunity to get off that contract, I thought one of the more you just went through all the trade details. Bobby Marks from ESPN, I thought, it made a great note about this. For the 76ers just to get off of the Paul George contract would have cost them a first-round pick. Anyways, just to get him off of the team. So really, what they gave up for Jaylen Brown, take one more first-round pick away, because anybody that they were going to send Paul George to, they were going to have to include a first-round pick just for him. So it's even really less than that. It's wild, Gil. It's wild. And you said it, and we were texting about this immediately. Yeah, for it to be the Sixers, maybe this stuff doesn't matter. We don't think about it or talk about it as much as we did 30 years ago, 20 years ago, right? But still, it's an Eastern Conference rival that you have to think is going to be around, a major market Eastern Conference rival that you have to think is going to be around, which is why I said in that first segment, this is the best they could do. This is pretty obvious, the best they could do, because you would love to have shipped him out west and not had to worry about this. And it immediately brought up a lot of questions for me of, man, where were all these other teams at if this is all that was being asked for? So that's why I said I think this is really how not just Boston was viewing Jaylen Brown by the end of it. And yes, I think there is a lot that was going on behind the scenes that we're not going to know about for a very long time with relationships in that building. But not only how just Jaylen Brown was viewed by the Celtics, but really how he was viewed by the majority of the rest of the NBA.
Yeah, it's, and again, Ben Fawkes, our buddy, tweeted this out. If you're wondering, what were the Sixers in the offshore, not offshore, but prediction markets? I don't know if any offshores had this up, but in prediction markets, what were the Sixers? The Sixers were 100-1 on the DraftKings sports prediction market anyway, to be Jaylen Brown's next team at the time of the trade, the longest odds for any team listed. Incredible. That's how sort of surprising this was. Now, remember, Detroit and Cleveland, also Eastern Conference playoff, perennial teams at this point, we can say about those two, I guess. They were much shorter odds. For some reason, Kelly, and this has nothing to do with anything but abstract historical rivalries in the NBA, I would not have been nearly as surprised if he had gone to Detroit or Cleveland. I don't know what those teams would have been able to ship.
Oh, I agree.
But what you said is correct. And I think that this was clearly the best offer they got. And what it really does, I think, indicate is that if you are a really, really good NBA player, maybe even a great NBA player, but you are not a superstar elite NBA player, right? In other words, you're below the Jokic line,
sure, you're not a first team all-teamer.
Wembanyama, right? You're below that group. These teams don't like it if your salary isn't commensurate with that, right? If you're getting paid, then it doesn't work. And so this will be interesting. I mean, let's get to the point, though, of the question, which is Boston 4-1 to win the East. First of all, the Knicks are the short shot at plus 320. Boston's $4 plus 425. And then it's the Sixers now at plus 750. If you're wondering where Giannis and the Heat fall, they fall sixth. Put the Pistons in there, put Kawhi's Raptors in there, and then Giannis and the Heat. Do you agree with that pecking order?
No, I do not, but I think we're still in a wait and see. There's a long off season to go. I do think there is a possibility that the Celtics are not done, that this is, they did get 2 first-round picks in return. Was this always part of the plan to turn this into something more? Miami Heat, right? We expect them to keep adding along the way. Are the Pacers going to do anything? Or the Cavs? Where does LeBron James end up? For right now, I guess, Gil, because the books are betting that the Celtics are going to do something more, or they're going to be able to recreate this in the aggregate. And the one that you are going to hear a lot about, this is another one that's kind of frustrating me about this move. One you've heard, Brian Windhorst brought it up on the Hoop Collective about things coming out of the Celtics front office. And if you do look at some of the advanced stats from last season, is that simply Derek White had a better season, was more important to Celtics winning than Jaylen Brown. So I don't know. Maybe the odds makers believe in that, and that is why the Celtics are as short as they are.
Yeah. If again, this is again for the analytics crowd. If you look at things like plus minus, Jaylen Brown doesn't leap off the page. That plus minus is a strange little stat that can have other outside factors who you're on the court with, that kind of thing. But that's an interesting one that people lean on as well. Let's talk some NFL. Week 1 quarterback starts next.
You make me go loco, baby. Yeah, that shit makes me crazy. Yeah, that shit makes me crazy. You make me go loco, loco. You make me go loco, baby. Yeah, that shit makes me crazy. Yeah, that shit makes me crazy. Yeah, that shit makes me. You make me go loco, baby. Yeah, that shit makes me crazy. Yeah, that shit makes me crazy. You make me go loco, loco. You make me go loco, baby. Yeah, that shit makes me.
The party never stops at Stadium Swim.
You make me go loco, loco.
Your favorite VSiN shows and personalities are now available to download as podcasts. Catch every hour of our live broadcast with VSiN Best Bets, or find your go-to show and download it directly. Get instant reactions to last night's games, sharp analysis on today's biggest matchups, and everything in between. Whether you're commuting, working out, or just catching up, VSiN lets you take the action with you wherever and whenever you want. Search VSiN on your favorite podcast platform and get in on the action with VSiN, the sports betting network.
Numbers Game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Back on a numbers game live from Circle Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas. In the case of Kelly Bidlin, in my case, live from San Francisco. This week, next week, who knows? Maybe a third week, Kelly. I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see. So far it's holding up very nicely, I must say.
It has. I was complimenting the engineering team here yesterday about it, and I immediately cut myself off halfway because I said, now, of course, I've just jinxed things, and I'm going to be doing 3 hours by myself the rest of the week. Yeah.
That's right. I probably shouldn't have said anything out loud. Few tweets here. Giuseppe Beda. He says, Paul George is a pair of what now? I'm always learning something new on ANG. Did I say something? Did you say something about Paul George?
I don't know.
PAW.
I mean, if we did, we might have, and it probably wasn't great. Yeah.
He is a pair of PAW. Sixers getting payback for that trade to acquire Markelle Fultz, and the Celtics snagged Tatum. Yeah, that was Danny Ainge's great stroke back in the day, where the Celtics were like, we don't need this number one pick. Yep. Danny Ainge knowing exactly what he wanted all along. And Leisure Suit Kobe. Did you guys hear what Stephen A. said about white players on the Lakers? Takes a lot to shock and or offend me these days, but it's absolutely revolting. The hypocrisy and double standards unacceptable. Boycott Stephen A. He says. Stephen A. talking about, I guess, Luka, Austin Reeves, and Walker Kessler now, I guess. With the Lakers.
The big three on the Lakers who are
the
all
big
white
three.
Guys. Walker Kessler, by the way, who did get moved yesterday for more than Jaylen Brown.
That's right, for more than Jaylen Brown, because his salary is commensurate with the level. I wasn't as offended as you were, Scotty. I understand where you're coming from. You were calling for ESPN to fire him. I promise you they will not. Let's just leave it at that. This is always interesting to check back in on. We were doing this all throughout June. Here we are now in early July. Who is going to be the week one starting quarterback for various NFL teams? Now, most of these, I think, our initial reactions were all good on, and I think the betting market is coming our way on all of these. The first one up here, though, I think, Kelly, is the most interesting one to discuss, which is the Arizona Cardinals, who it has been assumed, right? You know what they say about assuming. It has been assumed that Jacoby Brissett, after playing, better than Kyler Murray did last year as the Arizona Cardinals starting quarterback. Yeah, you had career years maybe from Trey McBride for one, and what's my man, the wideout's name, Michael. What's my wideout's name? So good. Anyway, Michael Wilson, I believe. Right? Yeah. Jacoby Brissett was really good last year, but he's in a contract dispute with the Cardinals. And essentially the positions very sort of succinctly are Jacoby Brissett's like, look, I'm the starting quarterback of this team. You saw me be the starting quarterback of the team this past year. I would like to be paid starting quarterback guaranteed money. That's his position. That's his camp's position. Very reasonable. The Arizona Cardinals are look at that, or have responded to that basically by their actions by saying, oh, that's beautiful. And yeah, you were a starting quarterback, but yeah, I don't know. And Gardner Minshew, who's your backup, he's actually got more guaranteed money than you have. And so the two sides have not met yet. And so we still don't know when Jacoby Brissett is going to show up for Arizona. Obviously, July 2nd, there's nothing to show up for yet, but we don't know if he's going to be there at the beginning of training camp. We have no idea about this. And so starting quarterback week number one, and you can see the movement on this hasn't really been that dramatic. Is this the time to get in on Gardner Minshew at plus 420 just in case?
Ah, man, I don't think so. I think I would take my normal kind of NBA injury report, wait and see approach on this, Kill. If this market's still up, if you think it really gets bad between Brissett and Cardinals, and there's really the possibility he's not going to be there, then I would run and make that bet then. Honestly, I'd be looking at this the same way the other way. If I hear everything gets worked out with Brissett just fine, I think minus 350 is a cheap price. I think they would be going with him for sure.
Yeah, I mean, let's put it this way. If we had done this Arizona Cardinals one, third or fourth in the list, I think the case for Gardner Minshew might be that much more sound, because you would have seen on the other teams, and we'll show these right now, that those are pretty fait accompli, because we kind of know, I believe, who's going to be the starters, barring injuries on those teams. This is the one, though, where I'm just like, it's the one long shot you can justify. Because I think what you're saying is right? If they get it worked out, Jacoby Brissett is your starting quarterback day one. But you know what? They say Gardner Minshew, and everything he's done with the Cardinals so far looks great. Everything, he learns quick. He knows everything. He's ready to go. So I don't know. If there is one long shot, I think that's it. Atlanta Falcons, we talked about this when Tua was just a short favorite. Now he is a minus 250 favorite. You see, back in May, he was minus 125. I think that's when you and I first talked about this. And my comment at the time was, Michael Penix Jr. had major knee surgery. They obviously acquired Tua for a reason. There is no rush to bring the kid back from major knee surgery. Clearly, he should be the favorite. That number's now minus 250. I still think it's a good bet.
Yeah, I do too. I think this one is, man, a little bit more of a wait and see still, just to wait and I don't know. But the problem is once camp opens up and these guys start going and you're going to see a full rep splits and everything, this number's going to move like crazy. So yeah, I think I'm with you. Minus 125, minus 180, of course, would be better. But right now, I think it's going to be Tua. And you brought it up. I don't even know if it was the last time we talked about this market, but it was last time we talked about the Falcons, at least, of just it being not only if he's the younger guy you believe in long term, why rush him back, but also the able to turn back, right? It's easier to turn back, to go off of Tua and turn to Michael Penix Jr. and sell that to your fans than the other way around.
Well, it also is a confidence killer for Penix if you do it the other way around. Like if he starts, then he doesn't play well and you bench him for Tua. That has a different psychological effect if you do it the opposite, I think.
And it does
Cleveland
for the
Browns,
fans, too. That's my point, right? Like the fans look at it, too. Like, well, what's the deal with our quarterback long term?
Cleveland Browns, we recommended Deshaun Watson when he was around where Tua was to start with the Falcons, minus 136 in the case of Watson. That has risen to minus 196. I still think that's the play here. Deshaun Watson, they paid him $253 million guaranteed. I know he has taken a, how can I put this, not your average way to get to this point in his career. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
But you paid him so much money, you kind of have an obligation as a franchise to see it through at this point. Shador's not going anywhere. So I think Deshaun Watson is your week one starter, and minus 196, not as good as minus 136, but I'm pretty confident he's your week one starter.
All right, for the ones that we've gone through so far, to make a bet today, Gil, this one would be the most bettable to me. Deshaun Watson, lay the 196. Everything you just said, right? And just like the Atlanta situation, look, Shador, I think you. I don't know if proved doubters wrong is the right term from last year, but you played better than a lot of people were expecting out of you last season. So I think Cleveland, like you said, kind of have a little financial obligation to see if Deshaun Watson can do anything for them. But you can turn back to Shador after that. I think that is something you can do. So yeah, if I had to make a bet on any of these today, it would be Watson.
These ones not quite as fun because I think these are properly priced and these are prohibitive. Kirk Cousins, minus 520 to be the starting quarterback week one for the Las Vegas Raiders. Remember also, this is the first snap. So if they ran, theoretically, some wildcat formation, remember the old Ronnie Brown play that started a season for the Dolphins, and then Cousins came in on the second snap, that ain't cashing for you, right? This is not only the week one starting quarterback, really it's the week one first snap from scrimmage quarterback. Cousins is minus 520. Fernando Mendoza, first pick in the draft, plus 350. Again, you brought in Cousins for a reason. Mendoza will learn under him. There's a good spot on the schedule where it's more sort of off the really natural for Mendoza to start. He doesn't have to start from day one, and I don't think he will.
Yeah, this is, like you said, this is the plan, right? And you've basically laid out the plan once you brought in Kirk Cousins. Now, would minus 520 is obviously big number anyways, but I wouldn't bet this though right now, Gil, because yes, I think that's the plan. Can plans change if Mendoza absolutely lights it up in the camp in preseason? Well, why not get the kid out there? So, I mean, the season's going to be tough to have much success anyways, being in that division. Might as well start getting the guy reps. So, that's what I wouldn't bet, but yes, I think the plan is we're going to be going with Kirk first.
And this last one might be surprising to some, but not really to us. Kyler Murray's the biggest favorite of all of them to start for the Minnesota Vikings, minus 770, which is actually down from minus 1,000. I don't know where they stand on J.J. McCarthy, man, but Kyler Murray starting day one.
Yeah, I think so too. I think this did come down a little bit because I think they were splitting reps a little bit more in mini camps that they had. So I'm guessing that's why this number came down. But I still think it's Kyler all the way.